Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Lingerie Journal Spotlight on Young Designers. This week we're talking to Layla Lobatti of Between the Sheets Lingerie. Have a look.
Hi, my name's Layla Lobatti and I'm the designer for Between the Sheets Lingerie, and today I'm giving you a tour of my small, humble home studio. So we're going to start with a little area that I have all of my sample fabrics stored. These are sample yardage that I've ordered from different companies, different suppliers, just to have on hand to be able to make samples for upcoming seasons. Ordered a lot in the beginning. I'm used to working in big companies, so probably ordered too much for a small brand, but you know, it's just a great resource to be able to have some of those things ready to go when I need to design a new collection. Next thing on our tour is Myrna. She is my trusty mannequin, and she actually has curves, which definitely helps in intimates. You can't have a mannequin that doesn't have curves. So I ordered her. She's basically a perfect size 4 when I was first starting. Some of the things you see here are like design lines that I put on a mannequin when I'm draping. I use those as a reference underneath the muslin, and that gives me the shape that I'm going to put on the garment later. So these right here are 3 darts that I put onto a chemise. This is the guideline for a strap on a slip dress that I was draping as well. So sometimes there's many different things going on, but I know what is there for each one, and I use those as a reference when I'm draping later on. This is my reference library. It's a collection that I started when I was at FIT. I have tons of books on lingerie. I have books on Gone with the Wind. You know, and also other people have helped me contribute to it along the way. So I get a lot of little presents, like from my boyfriend's mom. She got me a really beautiful book that I really love. It's underwear, fashion, and detail. This one, so this is one of my new pieces in my collection that I really love and I look at a lot because it's got beautiful images and is a great reference. Here is where I make my samples. I actually make all the samples for each new season myself. So I pattern on the table that's I'm going to show you next, and here is where I sew them. This is a straight stitch machine, but it also does a zigzag stitch as well. So I use this for a lot of different stitches. And then this is actually a convertible machine. It changes from a marrow to a cover stitch, this is like a marrow stitch right here. It's on the inside of stretch garments, and it's what's used to give that stretch tension, and then the cover stitch is what's on the edge of this. So it's what flips the fabric to the back and then puts a double needle on top and a little cover stitch behind. Here's my desk. It's a tight space, and so this is where I update our website. I edit images from our photo shoots and send out emails to buyers. So right behind me I also have storage for all of our samples for both Layla Lobatti for Between the Sheets and the Between the Sheets collection. And so these are here as a reference for myself. If I ever get a press pull, I can just send them out right away, send a messenger or UPS. And then I have all my extra swatches and references and patterns all stored along the wall. My cats often like to sit on top of everything. I'm fine if she sits up there, but not on the samples. She also loves to chew grosgrain, so you've got to watch out for her. So I'm going to go back to the cutting table and show you where I make my patterns. This is my cutting table where I start my patterns. Once I have a muslin, I put it on the table and I rub it off onto a piece of pattern paper. So this is pattern paper right here. These are the tracing tools that I use, spiky weapons of fashion. So the tracing wheel lets me trace the style lines of a muslin, so the seams of a piece of something that I've draped, whether it's silk or muslin, and then I trace that onto the paper, which I then trace a pencil line onto, then cut it out. So these are all different tools of the trade. When I'm done with my pattern, I put it into an envelope and I store it in that little box up there. But the envelope has all the details of the pattern, what goes into that garment. If we've already photographed it, I put an image of it on there. Otherwise, I put a sketch of it. So that I get to take to my sample maker or to our production facilities in the city. And we work with a couple different contractors. And I take that and my samples that I've made here, and they make it into our production. So we obviously tweak things between the time it's here on my home machine and for production. But basically what you see coming out of this little studio gets made into the clothing that goes into boutiques around the world. So thank you for stopping by our studio and taking a look at where I begin all the things that I make for Between the Sheets. Feel free to check out our website. It's www.bts, as in Between the Sheets, btslingerie.com.